Hello Internet, and welcome back to our Sky Island series. Now, it's been quite a long time since I played. It's been over a month since we had an episode of this series, and I guess I could have gone back to look at the footage, but I didn't, so there's no recap this time around. And in fact, I think our priority is going to be getting back to the Sky Island pretty much as quickly as possible. Everything that we were working on previously, I don't remember what our plan was. I don't remember if I had said we were going to go somewhere in particular, which we probably are not going to do. So I think our best bet here is just to go back to the Sky Island. I do remember there was a barricade at the bridge, unfortunately, which meant we couldn't go to the refugee center to sell things like we wanted. And it looks like we left off at a steel mill. And I remember, isn't there like a feral in here that we wanted to fight because it would have weapons and armor? What are you? Paramilitary zombie. Yeah, so probably, I don't know, there might be some other ones here. No, it looks like they're just base level zombies. What is this here? A feudal fighter, of course, just a worthless monster NPC character. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's anything else that's particularly exciting, and we don't have a pickaxe or welding, what is it, an arc welder? No, not an arc, what's the other one? The acetylene torch. We don't have any of that, and I think these are mostly locked with metal doors, so we're probably not going to be getting into the steel mill proper. And really, do we want to fight like 15 of them? I don't think we do. We have 4 warp pulses left on our expedition, so we have plenty of time here. I think the best bet is just to hit them with our car. Let's see if we made a note where the exit is. Is this the exit? It is. So we basically, I mean, we would have to go around the crater probably, but if we had to hoof it, that's not really a big deal. So we have plenty of time to fool around here. Why are there so many craters, but they're just like these singular, like lone craters? I'm not sure why that is. So I suppose we should try to get these folks here to come through the chain link fence. Now I see that they broke some down here, so obviously they're capable of doing that. Which, of course they are. Why wouldn't they be? But I remember waiting for a period of time in the last episode and none of them breaking out. And we really don't want to engage them on foot. I could pop out and just shoot the paramilitary zombie, but we're probably going to deal like 4 damage per shot. What pistol do we even have on us? We have a Beretta here. So yeah, we have a 9mm and a 357. 357 is going to do slightly more damage, probably not even a substantial amount. 29 versus 26 on the 9mm. So you figure they're wearing ballistic armor. That's probably going to reduce it like 20, 22, 25, something like that. So we're probably only going to deal 3 or 4 points of damage per shot. And even if we put it down using a handgun, we still have to worry about the rest of them because we're not going to be able to hop over the fence, grab their stuff, and then hop back over the fence. Is there any way we could do that effectively? I don't think so, because if we stood on here, so even if we wanted to use advanced inventory, that still takes time to transfer the corpse from this side to this side, and standing on the fence we're still exposed to diagonals, so we would still get attacked there. So we could shoot it and then lure the rest of them to the far corner and then back off and circle back. We should just do something. So let's stop our vehicle. How far are we from the wall? So just a pro tip here, you don't want to park up against the fence, right? Because then if you do have to, for some reason, bail and get back in your vehicle, you only have like 3 tiles to make that happen. Get in, close the door, start the engine, etc. But if we're back here, we can actually just flip on sprinting, sprint all the way back, and we'll have a nice buffer of tiles here to get back in the vehicle, close the door, and get away, basically. So I'm going to stay parked back here. Are we back? We're currently backing up. We don't want to do that. Man, my voice is hoarse. I literally just started recording. So let's stop driving. Let's we kind of need to keep the dory on us, but we have no way of stowing it, so let's drop it on the center console tile here, get rid of the dory spear, and let's wield our, I mean, how much 357 do we even have? So we only have 3 rounds of 357. That's not really going to do it. Oh, I see we have rollerblades. We did need that for a craft. By the way, the Sky Island got a little bit of an upgrade since we last played the game. I know someone, I think it was Standing Storm, who is someone who works on other mods. I think they created the Mind Over Matter mod that everyone likes so much, but I believe they added, and it could be someone else, so sorry if I'm misremembering, but they added some upgrades to the corner rooms. So previously only the central room was upgradable, but now the east and west rooms should be as well. So I'm excited to have a look at that and what the requirements for that are. And there have been other just miscellaneous upgrades. But so for now, because of our limited ammunition in 357, I think we're going to Is the vehicle moving? Oh, there's even more than I thought there were. Well, let's have another look. Anything of value? No, just base level zombies. They're gonna break through the fence, and we have to get close to shoot. But let's give it a shot, just so we're doing something, right? I wouldn't necessarily recommend this if you're a new player, but let's wield the 9mm. It's it's much more common ammunition. Okay, they've broken through the fence, so we're gonna just pivot to using the vehicle as a weapon. Now, I'm a little concerned we might break the vehicle to the point that we can't drive it, but I don't actually think that's a very big deal. These trees here are gonna be a bit problematic. Let's flip around and see what we've got behind us. Really nothing, so let's just slowly drive in this direction, and we're just gonna go very slow so that they can track us pretty easily and follow straight in this direction, and hopefully they fall in a nice line for us to run them over. Why are my tires messed up, by the way? What's going on with these sprites? Did we lose a quarter panel? We have a frame, wheel hub assembly, 24. So there's no quarter panel. Yeah, what happened to why would I lose corner panels only on the tire tiles? That's very strange. Let's close those doors so we don't get enemies in here like we have in previous episodes. At this point, we can speed up. We will swing our vehicle around and we'll try to run some of them over. I don't know, it might damage the vehicle. I'm not super worried about it. If we have to hoof it, we can. So, did they meander off? So I am on a version that's like 2 weeks old, by the way. I have not updated because I've been working on adding my own stuff to the game and I didn't want to lose my progress. I didn't know which files I had to back up and that kind of stuff. So we're not on the most recent version. Why did I mention that? There was something I was going to say about the migration. So recently there was a change. You know, in previous episodes we've seen whenever we see a horde, they were always moving northwest. And the reason for that is apparently they would always migrate towards 00, which we don't actually know where 00 is because of the way we started the game. But because of the locations that we've been in, they've always been moving in this direction. So presumably 00 is up here somewhere in the northwest. So that's why they were always migrating in the same direction. There was a change actually recently that changed that so that they should migrate kind of in random directions instead of 00, I believe. However, that's not on the version I'm currently playing on. So unfortunately, they're probably going to continue moving sort of in the same directions. They did not stack up as nicely as I hoped that they would. And the only thing here to be mindful of, and I know, look, I'm sorry, it's the first episode back and we're going to be running over enemies again. I know it's boring, it's tedious, but that's what we're doing. It's the most effective way to do this. So the only thing we have to worry about is like not overly running over the maniac when we kill it. We don't want to run over that prepper, feral, or zombie or whatever it was so many times that we destroy all the items. That's really the only thing to look out for here. So let's just wade into the crowd, I guess. Yeah, so we're back. Hopefully everyone is happy to see me back. I know I've been getting... So if you're not up to date, I've been severely depressed, which is like... is complicated, and we're not going to go into detail. I've made a few videos about that. I think people get tired of hearing it, but you know, people hear depression and they think like, oh, you're sad, everyone's sad, don't worry about it. But it's... you know, mine is a touch severe and gets very, very bad, and I get very non-functional and things can be very, very dark for me. So I'm sort of recovering from that. I am definitely not better, but I'm trying to make plans in my life to make change, to try and, you know, try new things that maybe will work for me. We've switched around my medications, all that kind of stuff. And that's a work in progress, you know, but I've decided you draw in a faint whiff of smoke, your eyes are mildly irritated. Interesting. A noticeable volume of smoke fills your lungs. That's new. Interesting. First of all, it's dumb because our cab is enclosed, so there's no reason the smoke should be coming into the cab like that. But it's interesting because previously we would just it would say like, you inhale some smoke, you cough, and that would be the whole thing. So it looks like that's been expanded to have different intensities, because here we see you draw in a faint whiff of smoke, which obviously implies a very little amount of smoke, and then we have a noticeable volume of smoke fills your lungs. So obviously one of those is more substantial smoke inhalation than the other. Did that give me a negative effect by any chance? I'm unhappy. Yeah, no, that's accurate. And then we have the warp stability, of course, is classic. That's just telling us, hey, we're not on the island right now. And then we're in minimal pain. Actually, does this mean I've been here too long? This should last for several hours. Stay too long, however, you'll gradually begin to suffer. Yeah, so that just means we have, we have to go back to the island soon. Then again, we have 3 expedition timer ticks left, so that's 45 minutes. We should have plenty of time, especially with the vehicle. Even if we have to hoof it, we should have plenty of time. So we put down quite a few enemies. I would love to get out and search their corpses before I keep running over them and destroying their items, but it doesn't look like that's going to be possible. All right, so let's just flip back and realistically, we don't need most of what they have on them. They're just going to have generic clothing. Actually, we did want clothing, didn't we? We wanted clothing because we have no cotton to work with, and we wanted to raise our tailoring skills so we could make a spear strap. Oh, sigh. Okay, well, I mean, plus we'd have to clean the clothing, and I didn't bring any stuff with me, and we don't have that much water back at base. Whatever. Zombies are like a dime a dozen, right? We can just gather clothing later if we have to. And realistically, all we're after here is that paramilitary zombie. That's all we want out of this little interaction here. Anyway, yeah, so have been severely depressed, but I'm starting to recover. Oh man, was this open the whole time? We could have just led them out the top instead of waiting for the fence. I had no idea. Okay, well. Starting to recover, so I decided, today, basically my therapy, I'm having vehicle problems. Unfortunately, my brakes are really messed up, and then I couldn't take the family vehicle because my family member is babysitting my niece today. Niece is having some health issues, relatively minor health issues. I don't want people to think like she's in a very bad spot. She's really not. She just, it's pretty typical stuff. She has some digestive issues and leads to her not being in school. Or are they out of school yet? It's like May 27th or something like that as I record this. When does school end for kids? I guess for like the seniors, it's probably over. Your eyes are mildly irritated. Yeah. I mean, at this point, we're losing huge chunks of the vehicle, so it does make sense that the smoke is getting to us now. Maybe it wasn't before with the windshield, but then when it broke, it was. So let's have a look at the damage here. Quarter panels are pretty messed up. Frames are in good shape. Quarter panels don't matter. The alternator's dying. That doesn't matter. We already have a leaky leaky gas tank anyway, so it's not a huge deal. Yeah, we're fine. This is fine. Insert dog in a burning house gif. Or not, I guess it's not a gif, it's a static image, but who cares? So let's have a look here just to make sure. Yeah, so we only have 1 leaky tank. The car battery has plenty of charge to get us where we're going, so even if the alternator dies, that doesn't matter. The engine is a concern. Now that I'm looking at this, the engine is in very bad shape. And I'm not sure if it was like that before or if I've been dealing a ton of damage to it via hitting these enemies. Where is... Oh, why would you put your engine on literally the frontmost tile of this vehicle? Why would you put it here instead of like, I guess that's where the hood would be. Whatever, anyway, we should be backing into these enemies. Maybe it's time, but we can't because the vehicle, we can't see out the back of it. Maybe it's time for us to start dealing with them on foot. Let's get closer and see. Are you the paramilitary zombie? You are. So if we could just do one more pass, I'm just so nervous about the engine being destroyed. And the way we track damage in this game is that damage radiates out from the point of impact. So my first instinct is like, well, let's just hit them with the corner of the car. But it doesn't actually work that way, because if we hit them with the corner of the car, the damage will radiate to the adjacent tiles. And depending on the severity of impact, it will then radiate even further and further. As far as I know, that's how that works. So what I think we'll do, we will drive up. Let's see, where would we have a clean... Let's drive up here. And let's go slow so that they can kind of track in this direction. And so once we know they're kind of behind us, let's just straight up, back up straight. And we're probably going to lose control when we get into... Oh man, that's so much smoke that's pouring directly into our character's face, apparently. Let's just back up straight as long as we don't hit a tree here. And we should clip something, I would hope. Nope. Literally missed every single one of them. Why did none of you stack up behind my vehicle like I anticipated? Okay. Well, let's try a low speed collision. It's really hard to actually like end an enemy by driving 4 miles an hour. But let's give it a shot here. Every one of these little impacts should be dealing a small amount of damage to... Nope, literally no damage. It is knocked down, however. Let's speed up. Nope, not going to do it. Okay, let's make another pass, and let's just hope that engine holds up. And worst case scenario, we have to walk, like I said. So I'm getting back to YouTube. I'm not thrilled to be back to YouTube, but I'm kind of running out of stuff to work on to keep myself sane. And so I thought, why not give it a shot, you know? What's interesting, so I mentioned, of course, on YouTube that I've been very depressed, and I've been getting a lot of comments. People have been largely very supportive, which is a little surprising to me because historically when I talk about these things, people are not so kind. A lot of people are like, bro, just shut up and make content. A lot of people will say like, oh, depression's a choice, just get over it, be a man, sack up, that kind of stuff. But this time people were surprisingly supportive, and I think it's because I was a little bit more open about what I was feeling, and some of what I was feeling was extremely dark and upsetting. And I think people realized it's a little bit more severe. Like, it wasn't just oh guys, I'm feeling sad, you know, a little down today. It was more like, hey everyone, I stopped functioning as a human being and my therapy thinks I should be in a mental facility and probably I should be on disability according to them because I'm like a non-functional person, and I, you know, without assistance I might just die one day or end things. And so I think when people realize like, hey, it's more severe than just, oh, I'm sad, I think people were a lot more supportive, because it's like, oh, this is an actual like mental illness. This is not just someone feeling down today. It's a much more severe ongoing thing. So people were very supportive. However, I did get some wild comments, and you will know who you are, and some of them are on the channel. I just left them up. I don't care. Usually I delete negative comments, but if you just reply with something kind of weird and confusing, I'm not going to delete that. You can, you know, you can post whatever you want. You know, you can have whatever crazy opinion you want. So a lot of people were offering suggestions on how I might cure my depression, which, fun fact, it's not something you cure. It is something you will live with probably for the rest of your life. Did we ever defeat that paramilitary zombie, man? It's not taking damage like at all from these collisions. But so some people were like, hey man, you know, you should try exercising. And I'm like, yeah, that's good advice. You know, exercise, eat well. It does, like, your mental health is connected to your physical health. Like, one of the things I struggle with is hygiene when I'm super depressed. So I'm like, not bathing as much as I should. I'm not, you know, being as active as I should. And those kind of things do affect your mental health. So like, that's good advice, you know, exercise, eat right. You know, I'm not going to be mad at someone for suggesting that. But then some people were like, yeah, you should try not, I don't even know how to say this on YouTube. They're suggesting that I partake in like the No Nut November style holding things in, if that makes sense. And they're like, yeah bro, that'll fix you right up. And I'm like, no, I mean, we don't have to discuss my habits, but like, I already largely don't. Okay, this is awkward, we shouldn't talk about that, but my point is, that's kind of a crazy thing to suggest to a person, because really not any proof that that's true. And in fact, the opposite is, like, there are actual studies that show that kind of relief is actually very good for you, and you should have that regularly, and not having it can actually be damaging to your body. So I just thought, like, what a wild thing to say. Someone was like, oh yeah, I'm sad, and someone's like, yeah dude, you should just never do that again. And I'm like, all right, well, that's a weird thing to suggest. So this is the paramilitary zombie. This is fantastic. We just found a number of Stanag mags, and unfortunately they don't have really ammunition in them, but any amount of 5.56 is always highly valuable. Remember, we have an AR-15 back at base. I believe we also have an M4. Here is another AR-15, which is actually fully loaded with a nice full clip. So we actually have 2 full magazines. Or no, I'm sorry, this is the magazine that's in that weapon right now. Also, I said clip. People get mad when you say clip, but it's actually magazine. So the other benefit here is actually a fully loaded, like these 15 round magazines. For the current pistol that we have, it's a Beretta PX4 Storm pistol. It is a 9mm, but I believe we only have 1 magazine for it. And we bought this, I think, from Rubik, like many episodes ago. Maybe it wasn't Rubik. It was one of the first traders we used. I don't think it was the hub. I don't remember where it was, but whatever, like, the first trader we went to was, we bought a pistol. And I believe that was this pistol. It might have been a different one, but whatever. But here we have an M9A1, also a Beretta. It's also 9mm, but it comes with 3 magazines, and we actually have a lot of loose 9mm. So we can replace these loose 9mm rounds in our inventory with fully loaded magazines for the pistol that we will carry with us, which means we can swap them in and out as necessary instead of manually reloading a magazine mid-exploration. So that's pretty great. In fact, we're going to take most of this. The AR-15 should have a shoulder strap on it, I would imagine. It does, so we can wear that and take that back with us. And of course, we're going to take all the magazines, we're going to take the handgun, we're going to take all the ammo that's here. Now, the other thing that they have are plate carriers, and we actually are wearing a Kevlar vest. I think we have a proper plate carrier already back at base, so I don't know that we necessarily need the plate carrier, but we absolutely should take the replaceable ballistic plates if we have space for that. So that's something we're gonna do here, I think is a good choice. Everything else doesn't look too good. We will take the extra holster because you never know what, clothing gets damaged and all that stuff. Holster's pretty good. I mean, they're very common. We don't need that. If we have to leave that behind, that's okay. Also, knee pads are a high value item. Now, I don't know if they actually will fit well with the leggings we're currently wearing. They're cataphract leggings, which I'm pretty sure is like the Rubik. Isn't that the Exodii specific armor? I'm actually not sure about that. But so I'm not sure how much they will jive with our other gear, but knee pads are good, low encumbrance, high quality armor. So we will take those, of course. And the light ballistic vest, I mean, if we have space for it, we will take it. I just suspect we're not going to be able to carry all of this back when we go through the portal. So let's do another quick scan. Anything else? Not really. We did want t-shirts, but this one's in poor condition. Most of this gear is not stuff we can really salvage very easily. I suppose we could... Is it cheaper to wash clothing? Like, is it cheaper to clean clothing and spend less soap cleaning it if it's a clothing item, or is it okay to take them apart into patches and then do that? Actually, we don't need patches, we need sheets, and that takes longer to disassemble them, right? Okay, let's just pick everything up, and let's go into the butcher menu. No, we don't want to butcher. Let's go into the get menu, open the inventory. No, how do we do this without picking up the item? I don't know. How do you select an item and open the... Isn't there a button for this? Disassemble in here, cut up an item. No, we don't want to cut things up, we want to disassemble them. Okay, just pick it up. So the menu I'm after is this menu here. If I go down to t-shirt and I hit E on it, no, I'm sorry, if I hit enter on it, it will open this side menu and allow me to disassemble it. Dispose of the dory. I would like to know how long this is going to take before I do it. It's not going to tell me. It should tell me in the menu, I think. Sorry, fumbling around a bit as I get back into the swing of things. This would be... Oh, apparently canceling from that menu already put it into disassembly. What a stupid... And it doesn't tell me a predicted time for how long that will take. That's so stupid. Why did it do that? Okay, well, where's the in progress? Get content. Wield the thing, sure, but if it takes a long time, I'm going to cancel it. Drop inventory. It took like 2 minutes, so we did get 2 patchwork sheets. I don't know if they were what we needed to make bandages and stuff that we wanted to make, and we wanted to craft clothing to train our tailoring. Whatever, let's just continue sifting through corpses here, and we're just going to ignore everything else because they're probably not going to get through the gate. It looks like we dealt with almost all of them. So yeah, making wild suggestions about my self-indulgence habits, maybe not the way to go here, but yeah, it was interesting. And then someone else was like, bro, ketamine, trust me, look it up, you could totally get on ketamine treatment. It cures difficult to treat depression. And listen, like I said, some of this stuff is viable, and like with a doctor's advisement, I might do some of those things, but I just suspect that that's not something we're gonna do. We are gonna take the pair of aquamarine glasses or earrings here because we actually do need gemstones for craft. I don't know which gemstones, but I know we should be picking up every piece of jewelry that has gemstones, so we'll do that. Do we need anything from wallets at this point? I think we need a platinum gas card, right? But only a platinum one. I don't think we need any other coinage or anything, so we'll just ignore that. So yeah, I don't know that all of your suggestions were helpful. Some of you were definitely a little bit out there. In addition to the people who were like, yeah, you just need to man up and get over it, there were people who were like, hey, try this completely wild and absolutely not at all backed up by science thing, and I guarantee you'll feel better. It just bothers me when people are like, number one, when you talk about something like you're not doing well and your mental health is poor, you're not really looking for people to tell you what to do. It's more like, I'm just letting you know I'm working through some things and it might be a little awkward, or I might not be around as much, or whatever. And then when people come in and they're like, I'm gonna fix him, that's a little unpleasant sometimes. But then too, when people come in with just absurd, unrealistic, like, and believe me, some of the ones I mentioned are tame. I had one person who was like, bro, all you need in your life is God. And it was like a whole, and listen, I know you guys are listening to this. So I know, listen, if you're the person who made these comments, I'm not trying to make you feel bad. It's just a little bit of an absurd response when someone's like, yeah, I'm sad, and you reach out and you're like, well, have you ever considered Jesus Christ? I encourage you to reach out to God, and I hope that you can find peace with the Lord and our Savior Jesus Christ, the Latter-day Saints or whatever. It's like, bro, I'm not really looking for religion. I'm looking for, like, you know, treatment, medication, stuff like that. So I don't know how to feel about some of those, but, and I'm sorry if you find this insulting. I'm not trying to insult you. It's just, you know, it's a YouTube thing. I wasn't really expecting to be preached to or to be suggested that I never nut again. It's just a little crazy suggestions, you know. So we actually do have a platinum gas discount card. We've been looking for this for quite a while. I believe we need a lot more materials. I think that's part of the gemstone craft. So if we have a look at the, I feel bad. Like, I'm sorry. Most of you who are hearing this are going to be like, yeah, wow, what a weird thing to suggest. But some of you are going to be like, well, I said that, and you're going to feel bad. It's not my intention. I'm not trying to make you feel terrible. It's strange. It's a strange interaction. Oh, that's right. I forgot the gemstone craft was actually largely reduced. Instead of being the middle stage that requires all the gems, now it's the third stage. So for the middle stage here, we did need that platinum gas card. We need warp shards, which we have, but we're going to need a lot of rings, which I didn't realize that. I don't think I put that on my cheat sheet. We will have to be picking up a lot more jewelry because I guarantee we found wedding rings and I didn't pick them up because I didn't think I needed them. Also on that note, wedding rings should be much more common than they are in the game currently. We almost never see rings on characters. So yeah, that's something we should be looking out for. I wish I had known that before I started sifting through an enormous number of bodies here, because we probably passed some rings and I really don't feel like going back for them. It looks like our recording just crossed the 30-minute mark. After editing, it's probably like 28 minutes. I do want to keep these shorter, both for like my mental health type reasons. I feel like if I go too long, I will end up rambling about my depression, and I don't want to do that. And then secondarily, if I record a shorter episode, hopefully I can get more of them done in general, and we can make more content because the channel's been dead lately and I hate it. So let's have a look here kind of in conclusion with a flyer and a file here. Several documents, customer data, and charts kept together in a manila folder. So no real flavor text there too much. This is an advertisement for a pre-manufactured emergency supply kit. It is made of a very flashy tactical fabric and looks very impractical based on your experience. Be ready for anything with the Tactica Supreme Go 30 kit. Sure, that's interesting. I didn't know it was like, I thought our flyers were all like, well, I don't know what I expected, but I didn't think they were for products, so that's interesting. We have a corset. I don't think we need any of that, and I think we're going to leave it here. So let's a quick save. So everyone, you know, again, apologies if you suggested something that I mentioned jokingly here. My God, there's a lot of gasoline on this screen. Yeah, that leaky tank sure did a number. Let's zoom out and have a look. Yeah, can you tell where I was driving, internet? So everyone, for now, thank you for watching. You know, hopefully we can get back to a regular schedule here. Everyone, I'm just, you know, I'm glad to be making content. I'm glad that people enjoy the content, and I'm glad that people have been very supportive this time around. Still figuring things out. I still have a lot to work on, but I would like to at least occasionally make some more videos. So everyone, for now, thanks for being here. I love you, and I'll see you next time.